What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. That Pollo Asado recipe last week was so delicious, I knew I had to do something with that marinade. How about some ribs with that Asado Marinade? Let's get it. All right, so just like the Pollo Asado, we're going to start with the marinade. You may have seen this last week. Half a cup fresh squeezed orange juice. A third of a cup fresh squeezed lime juice. Half a cup of some vegetable oil. I'm using olive. 2 teaspoons of Mexican oregano. 2 teaspoons of cumin. 3 teaspoons of salt and 3 teaspoons of black pepper. You saw that Achiote Paste, the earthiness, got about 2 ounces. About 5 cloves of garlic, just chopped in half, and a decent piece of some yellow onion. Let's get this liquefied. Once again, taste that. That's money. We're going to be cooking a rack of spares and a rack of baby backs. These are prayer fresh, all natural. Get them to the sink, rinsed and dried off. I'm going to be using some high heat tomorrow, so I don't think that I will be removing these membranes. If you're a fan of membrane removal, feel free. Because I'm leaving the membrane on, I'm just going to do some cuts into it, and hopefully I'll get some of that marinade to hit that backside of the meat. All right, so folks, we're going to set aside a little bit of our marinade, just like we've been doing. All right, and that's for tomorrow. All right, and what I want to do first is just to brush this on. We're going to be putting this in a vacuum sealed bag. So hopefully that vacuum, that suction, is going to suck in some of this marinade into the meat, into these little hatch marks that I put on the back side of this membrane. All right, so we're going to be pouring this in. I want to place the vacuum sealer on moist and gentle. That way I don't suck up any of my marinade. All right, folks. And we're going to be putting these 2 girls to bed, and we'll see you in the morning. All right, here we are, folks. It's been about 16 hours. Our ribs have been sitting outside the fridge for about an hour. We're now getting ready to toss them on the pit. I'm going to be using my extension rack. As these come out of the cryovac, I'm not brushing or drying anything off. That's all there is to this. We're going to do a little cleanup, and we're going to head outside. All right, folks, our baskets are ready to go. And this is going to be an interesting cook. Normally, I'll have those baskets filled with coals. With my extension grate, I can get 425 in the dome. Because of the sugars in this marinade, I don't want to cook that hot. So I've only got about 12 briquettes in each basket. So that's closer to maybe 2/3 of what I normally put. We're going to come back with our extension grate and on with the cover. This is not going to be a long cook. I'm very concerned, so I'll be watching this closely. All right, folks, we are at an hour. And man, the way I've got this thing set up, we've been running right around 300 to 325 for this entire hour. And I'm telling you, I have been checking this periodically. I wasn't brave enough to just let it go. And folks, we are looking amazing. So she's not cooking too hot. See a little brown in there. Let's see what's happening underneath. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. So we'll just do a little rotating and go for maybe another half hour or so. I may end up just adding another 3 briquettes in each basket in another 10 minutes or so. But right now we appear to be tracking nicely. Hour and a half, folks. We're still rocking that good 300 temperature. And I think we've dried out enough to where I can probably flip these over without causing too much damage. And I'm only gonna flip for maybe 10 or so minutes. Just wanna get a little bit of color, a little char before I wrap. So we're gonna go for another 10, 15 minutes max, and it'll be time to wrap. Still rocking 300, folks. We are at 2 hours, half an hour face down or meat down. Oh, so I check this periodically again, a little soft there. So now I think we're just gonna wrap these. So we're gonna be wrapping bone down. I made a quick little bit of some pork broth or stock, whatever you want to call it. And I mixed in some of that leftover, that saved, that set aside marinade. And we're just gonna go in here with maybe a good quarter cup or so. So that we can steam. All right, and we're headed back out to get these on the grill. So we're right a little over 2 hours. I'm gonna give these a good hour before I come back and check. I think with that liquid in there, we're safe away from any type of burning or scorching. All right, folks, it's been just about an hour hour 5. And I don't want these to dry out and start sticking, so we gotta be on it. There was enough liquid in here for about a good hour. I did not lose that color that I was worried about, but yes, we did dry out significantly. But these are nice and tender. Folks, that's beautiful right there. Folks, I'm making this up as I go along. So I'm tempted to just put just a little more of this awesome marinade on it and then letting it dry out. This will just freshen it up. I think we're good for about another 10 minutes. All right, folks, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's get them off of here. We'll give these a couple of 5-10 minutes to just relax before we slice into them. We've given these 10 minutes, man. Crusty, nicely charred, tender. If you're in the fall apart, then you might want to take these another 20, maybe 30 minutes, but man, these are perfect. Let's get to slicing. The proof is in the pudding. Folks, these are slicing like butter. I am not kidding. Oh, oh my Nelly. Wow. Tender, folks. Oh, tender. Mama. Wow.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Folks, I'm here to tell you that Asado Marinade is legit good, and I think it's going to be good on anything. I was dipping celery in it earlier. These baby backs are always a challenge. Oh yeah, folks, same thing, man. Wow. If you haven't thought about trying this marinade recipe, you're missing out. This is absolutely spectacular. This was a 3-hour, maybe a 10-minute cook. Just a matter of keeping that fire at a consistent 300 the way I did. I was making it up as I went along, but it worked out nicely. Want you to give this a shot. You're gonna absolutely love it. Once again, Mom and I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. We appreciate you guys watching. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. And as always, Mom and I want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla!